Okay, so to publish the application, you can follow the following steps, which is this is for Android. For iOS, you have to follow Flutter for iOS, but that will require iOS development environment, which is a MacBook, and also you need to register account with Apple as an Apple developer. However, the price is quite steep for Apple developer, which require for you to pay $90 every year. Compared to iOS, compared to Android, you only have to pay $25 lifetime. Okay, so you just paid once, and then you can become an Android developer for life. You can also publish application in other application store, Huawei. So you need to have registered Huawei account. But here I'm going to show for Android application, which require for you to follow the checklist. All right, so the first thing you need an icon, right? So adding a launcher icon is basically required here. So when a new Flutter app is created, it has a default launcher icon, which is available under your, let me just close everything first, which is available under your Android, under your app, under your source, under your main, under your rest folder. So this is where all the icons available in Android. And by default, if you look at here, this is the default icon provided by Flutter. And you want to change the icon into your app icon, right? So like, for example, the MyNelayan icon by default is this. And even the names here, if you don't like the names here, if you want to change like into a proper names, you can do it um, I believe in your source Java, sorry, not here, pro in your manifest, mean Android manifest. Let me just change the name, the app name here. All right, this is the default, they put it here. So the label. Okay, so the label now is MyNelayan. So if you want to change like MyNelayan, so that's more presentable for the names here instead of a small letter here. So I'm going to use MyNelayan here as a capital letter. So that's the first thing. The second thing that you need to do is the launcher here, the icon launcher. So by default, the icon launcher redirect through MeMap IC launcher, which is in the rest folder. Map, which is here, and this is the launcher. This is the icon, the default icon. So you want to change that. So you might want to create an icon for your application. So the icon for the MyNelayan, I'm not quite sure if we have a proper one. The one that we have in the asset here. I'm not quite sure if we can give instructions for let me just do something. To create an icon, we can use DALI. I'm not quite sure if DALI can. Where's the link? OpenAI, just to generate an icon. All right, so DALI here. Use my account. DALI. Create an app icon for I'm not quite sure if they know about MyNelayan, but yeah, let me try for fishery app. So let's see if they can comes with something. Yep, something that maybe we can use. Fishery, let's say Yeah, let's say something like this here. So P, or maybe we can just use let me just use my Photoshop. So create just a small icon. So usually the size of the icon, you can use, there's an icon generator that you can use, but the size here, just put it away first. So the clipboard size is 192 times 192. So let me just use that size. Okay, so this is the size. Just use transparent. And I'm going to use one of these as the icon. Let's say I'm going to take this one, or maybe this one. This is just a quick example. Okay, so paste. I'm going to resize. Why doesn't up there? I'm not quite sure what is that. Oh yeah, by default they have that. So let me just take this one, because this is by default they have the. I'm going to take this one. Okay, so let's say that this is the app icon. Let me just make it a little bit bigger or smaller. But they don't have nice edge here. But yeah, this is just for example. But the size is not proper. So again, and that, that, and then I'm going to do some clearance. Where's my channel? Not channel layers. This one. So I'm going to delete something. Background eraser tools. Oh, this one is the background. I just want to magic eraser tools right there. Okay, so this is going to be my icon now. Make it a little bit bigger. Something like that. All right. Pretty. I'm going to save this. Save as a PNG. Okay, so my Nelayan. Put it somewhere on the desktop. Easier for me to take. Medium size should be okay. So let's see. We have this, and then put it somewhere inside your map. So I'm going to put inside here. Reveal in File Explorer. Put it into map. Put it here. MyNelayan. Okay, so now we have that, and then I'm going to change that to MyNelayan. Yeah, not quite sure if it's supposed to be available under map. All right, so let's see. This is the MyNelayan now. And I hope I can get it to work. So let's try to compile first the application. Let's see if the icons stick. And the names also. So let's see the names here. Should change to my M capital N capital MyNelayan, and the icon also change. So let's the application compile first. So that's the icon. But you don't have to worry because this one just only appear once. Okay, so now you can have the icon. So let's see if we have the icon. MyNelayan. There you go. It's a MyNelayan. Even the names also change. Okay, so that's the icon there. MyNelayan. So change the icon. So that's the first step here. All right, so you can create your icon the way that you like, but make sure that but there's also another like there's a account there's a icon designer that you can use, but that's just a quick guide for you. Okay, when new Flutter is created, check out the you can also use this package, Flutter launcher icons. Manually review the design icon guidelines for the icon design, so you can just follow the guideline, but this is usually done by designer, application designer. But if you want to, that's the quickest way for you to do it. Use into bitmap folder into the naming correct conversion, and then the application change that in the IC launcher with the names. And definitely if you want to cater for different screen sizes, so you need to resize that into different screen sizes with the folders that describe. You can see there's a drawable HDPI, MDPI, XDPI, so you need to follow the size for each. Okay, this is just to cater different screen sizes. So icon on larger screen will follow the let's say like extra size here. You can see much larger size with a smaller screen, a little bit smaller. So you can use icon generator that allow you to generate for multiple screen sizes. But here just a quick example for you to develop the icon. Right. So done that first for the icon. Okay, so launcher done, enable material component. So to enable material component, you need to check your app Gradle and then the material version, the UI material design for Android. You need to check the version that you want to use, correct version. And then this one also you need to check your themes also if you want to themes, light themes, dark themes. If you don't have customized dark theme, customized light theme, so you can follow the default device themes. So the default themes basically follow this unless you wanted your own style. So you can design your own style, which you need to define in your themes class. Okay, so this is just a material, this is just design, making sure that your UI look the same across different platform. You don't want your UI to look different. So make sure that you go to each of these files to make sure that your themes follow the standard. Or if you want to create your own themes, then you make sure that your themes in that particular style. Then before you can before you can upload to Google Play Store, you need to sign the application. So to publish on the Play Store, you need to give your app a signature. Use the following instruction to sign your app. So on Android, there are two ways to sign your app, deploy and upload. The end user download the APK sign with the deployment key, and upload key is used to authenticate the AAB. So there are two way that you can use to sign. That the one that I use is to generate the key tools. Okay, to generate the key tools, which allow you to get your key store. Okay, your key store. So whenever you develop your application on your computer, and you want to sign your application, which means that your application after this only valid if you compile using your own key. Okay, so the application will require this key. You need to keep this key safe. For example, the key store here. Not quite sure if my PowerShell for Windows. If it is not available, the key tool, you need to make sure that the key tool is working first. Yeah, my key tool is available. So when you copy paste your key tools, this multiple line, copy. Sorry, the key tools here. Or there's a line there. I'm not quite sure. I can just use this first. I need to remove this command. One. So that it execute as a single command. All right, so this is the instructions to generate your key tools. Enter. So whenever you want to generate your key tools, make sure that you save this file, okay? The JKS file, they call it upload key store JKS file. So this file will be used later on if you want to update your apps. Okay, you need to use the same key tool for every update. The Google Play Store won't allow if you sign your app with different key store. Okay, so here, for example, if I want to generate my own key store, so I have to enter my password. So again, you need to provide information about your key. So let's say, what is your first name and last name? Quite sure is it full one here. UUM, for example, what is the name? UUM again, what is the name? City, like say, Sinto, province, Sinto, oh, sorry. To later of the country, MY. So those are the information regarding my key store. So if you want to change, you can change. Yes. Okay. Generating 2048-bit RSA key pair with self-sign with validity over 10,000 days for this key. Return if the same password as a key store. All right. Sorry. Oh, the folder is not there. So might need to change the folder location. Because here, this is basically where you want to store. So let's say I want to store somewhere because the user profile is not available. Is it? It's not available. User profile, user profile. No, I didn't set my user profile, I believe. So I might need to put it somewhere safe. So I'm going to change my location. Let's say the location that I want to store is on my desktop for now. So might as well, I'm going to change, put it into desktop, full path to my desktop here. Instead of this, I'm not quite sure the correct one. So let's say I put it something like this. Okay, so do it again. Enter. I hope the directory works. I put it on my desktop. I should be able to get the JKS file. So enter password. The password again. First name. Organization SOC. EUM. What is the name? City. Sintok. State. Kedah. MY from Malaysia. Yes. Enter password, the same return if the same password is store, same password. Enter. Enter password again. All right, there you go. So if you look at my desktop now, you should be able to see this key store. Okay, so this is the key store that you will be required to have and keep it safe because you only need to create this once. Okay. And then later on, if you want to update your application, you are going to use this key store again. Okay, this store, keep it safe. Make sure you don't forget the password. and then keep it somewhere safe. You cannot use different key store to update your application later on. If you lost this key store, your application, you can no longer update your application. Okay, so be aware of that. Okay, so once you're done with the key store, right? So the third step now is you have the sign now, you have the key tools. So this command store the upload key store JKS right in your home directory. If you want to store somewhere else, you check that. Okay, so that's basically the one that I'm doing. So the key tool command and the store type commands basically generate that. And you need to make sure that you use Java version 9 or newer. And then reference to key store of the app. So create a file name, project, Android key.properties that contain a reference to your key store. Create a file name in the project Android key properties. Okay, you need to create a file inside there called key properties under folder Android. So you need to access your folder Android again. So let me just close everything. So under folder Android here, okay, create a file called key.properties. Okay, so you got key.properties, and then you need to have all this inside the file. All right. So you need to fill in all the information here, but I'm not quite sure if you need to put it inside the bracket or outside the bracket. Let me check. Create file name that contain reference. You don't include the angle or you remove the bracket, the key. Okay, so you need to put password. You need to put password from the previous step. Also, there are two passwords that we created. So I put the same password and key alias upload store file and located. So put it into where you want to put JK into your application directory. Warning: keep the key properties file private. Don't check into public source. Okay, you can put your key, let's say, in your application also, but when you publish, don't put it into your public source control. You can put it into the application directory. So I'm going to take the key store, but the password here, I'm going to put it later. Okay, I'm going to put it later because I put my password there. So I'm going to take this file, and let's say I'm going to put it inside the Android folder also. Put it into the Android folder and show reveal file explorer. So this is the Android folder. Put it inside here. Okay. So this is the upload keystore.jks. So keystore file basically available in the root folder, which is /android/upload keystore. Of course, if that's the correct folder. Okay. Okay, don't include the angle. They indicate that the tags serve as a placeholder for your values. Key alias, upload, put a password. Okay, so I'm not going to put it there. For users, username, you need to put JKS. Okay, dot JKS. So password, remove everything. Okay, so this is put the password there also. Right. So that's basically the second step. keystore.jks, right, done. And then you need to configure your app build Gradle file. Okay, so your app Gradle file under folder Android app build.gradle. So under for the Android app build.gradle. So here. And you need to follow the requirement. Add the key store information from your properties file before the Android block. So before the Android block, load the key to properties into that. All right, so where is it? Okay, here, this one. Before key store properties, before Android folder. Oh, there. All right, here. Okay, so it says if key store properties, if Okay, we need to put the whole things before the Android. Okay, take all this and put it into there. Is it like that? Okay, so be aware of the tab. Sometimes that can also mess your installation. Okay, so that's for the properties. And then find the build types block. So look for the build types. Okay, there. And then release. Inside the build tab should be release. Okay. And then signing config debugs. And replace with the signing and replace with the following signing configuration info. So you have build types, and then you have signing config. Okay, put it before the build types or the default config there. Signing config. Do we have signing config? No, we don't. So we need to add this signing config to the build Gradle. Okay, but do we need to change anything there? Release build and replace with the following signing configuration info should be okay now. Okay, because you're going to use password from the key properties file, from the JKS file. All right, so next, you might need to run Flutter clean after changing the Gradle file, which prevent cache. Okay, so you need to clear your Flutter. So usually you can just use Flutter.
So just now the one is dot release.
Hold on. Okay, so one more thing that we need to do is build type here, change to release. Okay, because we are now in the release mode. Okay, next, you might need to run Flutter clean first because we need to clear all the application cache. So give the instruction Flutter clean. So this will clear everything from your cache, and you might need to get the pub-get again. Okay, so when you clean this, all the build and everything will be clear, and you will be required to download again the, let's say, like for example, that we require pubdev. If I'm not mistaken, they clear everything. Yeah, pubget. Okay, so make sure your pubget is not they don't clear the pubget and everything. So this one they didn't clear pubget. Yeah, didn't. So it means that it will only delete your build folder. Okay, delete your build folder and everything. All right, so it means that now you are clean. Okay, I think that's next. All right, so shrinking your code with R8. Next step, R8 is the new code shrinker from Google. It's enabled by default when you build a release APK or AB. To disable R8, pass the no shrink flag to the Flutter build APK or Flutter build APK bundle. All right, so if you want to shrink with the R8 methods, you can reduce the size of the, but I'm not quite sure the effect. Whenever we give the command flutter build apk dash no shrink, okay. Before we compile a release mode, there's a multi-deck support. When writing large application or making use a large plugin, because certain plugin is quite big, okay, you might encounter Android's DAX limit, so you might want to increase the DAX into 64 kilobyte methods when targeting minimum API below 20. So this might be encountered when running debug version of your app using Flutter Run that does not have the shrinking enabled. So Flutter tools automatically enable multi-DAX if your application size exceed that. So the simplest way is to opt multi-DAX support when prompted. So the tools automatically detect that. So you don't have to worry about that. It's all done that automatically for you. All right, this is multi-DAX. Okay, so review your app manifest and everything. Any requirements before we hit the release? I didn't yet put this. Let me just put it right there. Key password. Okay, put the password already. So what's next? Yeah, review again, finalize your Android manifest. Make sure your Android manifest here. One most important permission that you need to add is this. Because when you release your application, if you forgot to put this, whatever your HTTP request, they are not able to run because of missing this. So you need to add this permission into your application. If you didn't publish yet, this won't matter. But if your application require internet access, HTTP request, you need this. That's why it mentioned here. Review your manifest, make sure that if anything that require internet access, add the permission. Okay, so users permission there, add that into your Android manifest. And then review the Gradle file, project Android, verify that you're correct, application ID, SDK, targeted SDK, and everything should be good. Compile SDK version. All right, so that's basically done on that sense. Then build the apps, right? So there are two flavor here, either app bundle or app APK file, which is called FAT APK. So the build bundle, if your application is big, okay, like 80 meg, 100 meg, and plus plus, so you might want to use app bundle, right? So Google Play nowadays prefer app bundle compared to APK. So the format is AIB. But depend on the application type. If the application is like 20 meg size, 30 meg size, so you can just use APK. But if your app is like 100 meg, 200 meg, so you might want to opt for app bundle type, which will compile your APK into, sorry, AAB version into AAB. Okay, so if you want to develop or if you want to have your application released in app bundle, you can use Flutter build app bundle, so which will release your app into app.aab. By default, the app bundle contain your dark code and Flutter runtime compiled into a different flavor of runtime, ARM, 64-bit, 32-bit, or 86. Okay. You can use test app bundle. That's the first one. The second one, you can also compile into APK, but your APK also can be splitted into ABI, which will reduce, I believe, will reduce the size. So you can have a split ABI into ARM, into 86, 64, and 32. I think this will reduce the size of the APK if you release into ABI version. Okay, so you can have this into 3 different Android application flavor. Okay, but I never use this. I just release that into APK, and then you get yourself a full APK. So let's try with the AAB version. Okay, so let's try if we can compile this properly. So all you need to do now, just access your terminal and then give the command flutter build app bundle. So I'm not quite sure if my is working. Let's just try that. So you need to give it a try and make sure that your app is okay, is working with the compilation. So this will take some time to complete. If there's no error, if there's an error, you might need to solve that error first. All right, so you can see there, font, accept, material, OTF, 3 second, reduce the size, 3 checking, blah, blah, blah. This one just basically to compile into your release app. Okay, so usually sometimes you might encounter deprecated API, but this is just a warning. Okay, so that should be no problem because now we have issues with bundle APK signing, which is not found with signing config release. I think I put it under folder Android app, Android upload key store should be there. Upload key store, let me check again. The folder is not correct for this. So I put this under folder Android. Let me just reveal Info Explorer under folder Android here. It says under folder Android there. Under app. I don't know under app. No, it's not here. Under app, under Android app. It's not supposed to be there. Oh yeah, I think that's the issue. I put it here. So I might need to change my Gradle. Let me check again my build. App build.gradle. So the location. Where's the location? Hold on. Check again. Location for your over here, this one. Key store file location. So I need to access my Android key properties. Android key properties. All right, so Android, let me just put it somewhere else first. Android, because I put my real password there. Android key properties. Android upload key store. Key properties. So under folder Android, so might as well, maybe I can just save it straight away under the folder because the error here said about that. See Android app, Android upload key store. So just put it there straight away. Let me give it one more time. Let's see. It produces the same error or not. So I'm compiling at the moment. I'm just want to see where the location now. Okay, so now it's under Android app. Still error there. Now under Android, still under app. So might as well I'm going to put it inside app straight away inside here app. Okay, I'm going to put it there. So let's try to compile that again. So I'm recompiling. Because the folder. Yeah, it's the folder of the upload key store JKS. They not found. So let's see if I manage to compile the apps. Oh, this one for Windows. Forgot about that. Supposed to be here already now. Right. All right, there you go. Completed. Okay, so now font access, everything is okay. Build rather. So you can see the build under folder build app output have app dash release AAB. So I can go to that particular folder, build app release. Output bundle. There you go. So this is the release version of my application. Okay, AAB file. So the size is going to be between this. Normally 24 meg, but I'm not very sure if I split API, the size is going to be reduced. But this one means that I can release that for multiple Android devices flavor, ARM processor or the i86 processor. So maybe you can split that into a much smaller size. But this is the AAB version. So if you want to have APK version, so you can release as APK version. Okay, so that should be okay. If you want to have APK, you can run as APK. You get yourself APK. Okay, so that's the step to have the file. So now you want to publish your application. Oh yeah, I forgot about that also. This one, version number in your APK, in your manifest file. I forgot about that also. App, source, main, manifest. Version. Where did I put the version there? Versioning, okay? Default version. Oh, sorry. Put it into pub spec. Navigate the pub spec. Into the pub spec. Where's the version? Oh, there. So this is the current version, version 1.0, 0 plus 1. So if you have next version, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5. So whatever version that you are working with now. Okay, if major version, you can just change this. Okay, just smaller version, you can just change this. All right. Okay, so now you have your AB. Now we want to publish to Google Play Store. All right, so to publish to your Google Play Store. So you can read about the other app bundle or AEB or APK here. What are the difference? And nowadays, Android, they want AEB compared to APK. I'm not quite sure why. So they want to deploy app bundles over APK because they allow more efficient delivery of your application of your user. However, if you are distributing your application by means other Play Store, you need APK. So if you want to publish through Huawei or any other Play Store, you need to generate APK. But only for Android Play Store, you need allow you to distribute your application through AAB, which I think maybe in terms of performance better than APK. Oh yeah, this is the fat APK. If you generate one, you just get. But if you want to make it smaller size, you can have split APK. I never tried this before. Okay, so done with that. Now we're going to go to the Google Play Store. Um, this is the Google Play Store. So you need to register yourself with Google Play Store. You have to pay $25 for the developer account. Since I already have my Google developer account, um, I'm able to log in. All right, so this is my Google Play Store. So before this, I allow my student to upload. I can invite student as my developer, but I already removed this. No longer publish the application here because you can see that there's a lot of application here, and I don't want to maintain all the application. As a developer, you need to maintain your application all the time. Now you can see that everything has been removed from my. But unfortunately, I cannot delete the application. Okay, I cannot delete entry here. So I need to remove all this application. They don't allow me to delete. Okay, so that's why I don't want to add anything more. But I'm going to show you how to create new application or how to upload. But the release, or I'm not going to release anything. All right. So if you want to create new application with Google Play Store, you need to have an account first. You need to register with them. Once they allow for you to become or they check everything that you fulfill the requirement, I paid $25, and then you can just enter the Play Console and create apps. So for apps, you need to make sure that you follow their regulation. Um, Provide the app's name that you want to appear in Google Play Store, the language that you use, either the type of application, apps, or games. And you need to declare your app if it is a free or paid, because you cannot change once. You can edit now. Before this, you cannot change. You can edit this later on the paid app page. Um, Nowadays they allow you to change. Before this, if you see that the application is free, then it's going to be free forever. You cannot change. You can edit this until. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This one. You can edit this until you publish your app. Once you publish, you can't change a free app to paid. Okay. So just be sure that you understand this. If you want the application to be paid, means that user cannot um, download this without paying. Okay, so if it's free, it's a free. You cannot set this as a paid. And then you need to follow developer program policies and everything. Play app signing means that you sign your app and accept the law, okay, US law. But I don't want to create this because if I create this later, I'm going to have issues with the application itself. But once you create, you need to create all the requirement, and then you can just upload your APK, your AAB file to here. You need to create all the Google Play, for example, the Play, Google Play. Let me just enter that. You need to provide all the requirements. For example, apps. One of the example here. Let me just take this one. You need to create a screenshot for your application. Okay, so you need to make sure all the screenshot follow their requirement. Upload your screenshot. Describe about the applications. Select the type of the application. Agree to the data safety, and then you need to choose the regulations that you want to follow with. Um, and then upload icon also. This is the icon that you want to, and select rate for your application. It is for who rated 12 and above, or for kids. Okay, you need to agree to the requirements, and also contact person for the developer. Other than that, no, that's it. Oh, yeah. You need also to select your device and country that you allow for the application to be downloaded from. Which mean that the device, for example, tablet, phone, which phone, either you want to allow all phone or you want to allow certain Android version. So you have to do that through their entry. Okay, so those are the requirements that you need to follow when you develop application, when you want to upload to Google Play Store. But I don't want to create new application here because I don't want to to have problems later on with you have to follow the policy status, permissions, order uh, if you the application require for user to pay, so you need to follow the Google payment service, which they will take 15% service fee at the moment now. In March, announced that starting 1 July, the service fee will be 15% instead of 30% for the first 1 million US dollar you earn each year when you sell digital goods. So starting today, you can enroll for 15% service fee, which is if you sell your application $1, 15 cents will go to Google Play Store. Okay, they will get a 15% from you, from the payment. And you need to register with the payment service. Okay. For developer page, you can follow their requirements, learn from the links, everything here. Okay, so pricing, if you're doing games, licensing, template, if you have a license, um, notification for your user in terms of payment, in terms of policy, testing, API access to Google Developer API, if you have any access to them, because that will access the billing service. Okay, so those are the here also I have, if you have a tester, if you want to release your application as a test application, so you can list email for the tester, who's going to be the tester for the application. Okay, so that's they can download. Those who cannot download, not in the list, they cannot download. If you want to release your application as a beta, only people in the tester can retrieve the application. Okay, so follow all the requirements, all the let me just if I can open anything inside here. This one already disabled. Okay, so can no longer open, but it's still there. It's difficult for me to remove that. I cannot remove that. Yeah, I said about countries, who you want to allow, any countries that might limit. For example, you don't allow anything, people from Afghan, from North Korea or anywhere, any locations that don't allow your application to run. Okay, so that's basically requirements. There's a lot of things that you have to manage as an app manager, and usually this one handled by a release manager in the company. But if you're the one who manage everything, so you have to follow all the rules and regulations available here. Okay, so that's basically how you release your application. Um, and that's basically can be used as your guideline to later release your apps.